It is the go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship clash of Ballyboden, St Endas and Na Fianna. Coola won earlier on. Ballyboden, St Endas and them, I think it's fair to say, vying for top spot. Na Fianna looking to get back to the knockout stages, having made the final last year. But, Joe Fortune, they are without a number of quality players. Paul O'Dea is injured. The two Currys not listed today. Shane Barrett also out. And they're missing Burke as well.
Yeah, they've been very unlucky in the last kind of couple of months with injuries. I know Paul had a bad elbow injury the last day when we were here together, and he looks like he's going to miss the rest of the year. Shane is not listed there today as well. Massive loss for them because he did very well in the half forward line. I felt the last day for Na Fianna, but I suppose the two obvious ones as well are the two young lads, the two Currys, who again seem to be missing through injury. So yeah, like Na Fianna are down a lot, but again, they've had so much underage talent coming through over the last number of years. Maybe it might be a test now against one of the best clubs in Dublin. It might be a test for them today. But again, Boden themselves seem to be down a couple of players today as well, with Lambert and Madden being out.
Yeah, McMorrow is on the bench, as is Dunleavy. James Madden is on the bench as well. They still have a strong enough team. They also have Conall Keeney still out there. Let's just talk about the group standings before we go into this. Just a reminder that top spot gets you a semi-final spot, second and third go into the quarter-finals, and the bottom two teams then drop into relegation playoffs. Ballyboden St Endas currently behind Coola, who've just had a win which put them to 8 points. Ballyboden on 6 points, obviously still with the game to play. Na Fianna are on 4 points. Plunkets have just moved to 4 points also, and their scoring difference should be, I think it's about -3. I'd have to look at that because obviously their game has just happened. But it's a pretty tight group from Na Fianna's point of view. Ballyboden are looking okay, but Na Fianna could do it to win today.
Yeah, Na Fianna could do it to win today, but I think what's going to happen here, Oisín, from my reading of it as well, is no matter what happens Na Fianna today, they'll need to beat Plunkets the next day. So if Boden per se were to beat Na Fianna today, it's going to be a massive game for Na Fianna to try and get their place in the quarter final the next day. But look, both teams here have ambitions to get to a county quarter final, county semi final, and with the ambition, I suppose, Na Fianna last year were maybe 30 seconds away from winning their first ever county title, whereas I think the last time, I think it's 18 since when I was there with them. I think that's the last county title that Boden have had, so with another county final appearance in 20. So look, both teams here with aspirations of getting to a semi-final and final, and I just think the injuries that Na Fianna have got over the last couple of weeks could hurt them today. But look, they've huge underage talent. I think they've won maybe 4 of the last 6 minor under 21 titles in Dublin when the under 20 titles are actually played. So they've huge talent, young talent coming through, and it'll be a massive test for them today now against what's a seasoned Ballyboden team, even though they're missing a few.
Chris Mooney is our referee. The conditions absolutely perfect.
Yeah, we saw that in the first game again. Slight breeze now blowing over towards ourselves for the first half here. But credit to the pitch is just in serious nick. So the groundsmen and the people that are involved in Parnell Park, and I'm sure the new Dublin management are here this evening as well to see what underage talent's available to them for the coming year with Boden and Na Fianna.
Well, without giving anything away, let's hope we get a tighter game now than we did a little bit earlier on between Coola and St Jude's. There is a clash going on in O'Toole Park. That is between Lucan and Kilmacud Crokes. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll have score updates coming through from that game. Ballyboden in the huddle. Na Fianna going out into the positions. Ballyboden in the blue and white stripes. Na Fianna in the blue and gold, but it's really more yellow than gold.
Yeah, Na Fianna are going to need a big game from Rushino today at centre back as well. Like, the likelihood is that Timmy Hammersley or Connell will be out on him, so they're going to need a leadership performance in that kind of platform for them as well to drive forward into a forward line that are missing Shane and the two Currys as well, which are big losses. But without harping on about that, look, we're in for hopefully a good, exciting, tough championship game here now as well before we get into the final week in 2 weeks' time.
Lots of good talent and young talent on both sides. You've got Luke Mulligan-Lynch, who was a Celtic Challenge player for Dublin, played Junior A last year for Ballyboden. It just goes to show if you play well, the rewards are there and you'll climb up the ranks.
Yeah, Boden have some very good look. We were impressed the last day. I said to you about young Luke McDwyer. I still think Conor Dooley could add something to set up. So I think he's just his physique and his athleticism is very, very good. But no, Luke McDwyer I think is one that we said that we'd watched the last day. But look at that forward line, the full forward line, Keeney, Reiner and Mellett. Like, that's a fair, formidable forward line as well. Something that we spoke about Cool earlier on too.
David Curtin, the manager of Ballyboden, a player you know well. Shane Durkin is the captain. Quarter-finalists last year, runners-up in 2020, quarter-finalists in 2019. In 2018, they won it, but I don't want to talk about that too much, Joe, because I don't want to get your head all big. Na Fianna, as we say, last year, were finalists. So we're underway. And it's a scramble straight away. Well, the slitter has disappeared from view. A helmet has popped off as well. Play would have to stop if that was spotted. It wasn't. Picking it up is John Tierney. It was his helmet.
See McMorrow started as well. He's inside.
Dooley. That's some surge of pace. It's McDwyer, who you mentioned pre-match. And that's an excellent strike.
Yeah, I see Niall has started inside as well. Niall McMorrow, who's come back from a serious shoulder injury. Great to see him back on grass. Again, somebody who I'd rate very, very highly. So we have to see who is missing from that.
Well, just assessing who's missing. We want to keep an eye on play as well, obviously. Finn McGarry heard the call from Dooley. Dooley took it. Dooley goes diagonal, chasing after that one, but not getting there is Niall Ryan.
I think it's Pierce Christie that hasn't started, and they've put McMorrow inside. So obviously Connell's playing at 11 on Rushy, and then they're looking at a half forward line. Then Timmy Hammersley is out, who's a big addition to that Bowden team this year, along with Niall Ryan as well. Mellett out around the middle, so Mellett will play midfield. Obviously Mark and Peter Feeney.
And our condolences to Timmy Hammersley, who lost his Clonilty Rossmore clubmate Dylan Quirk a couple of weeks ago. We're still thinking of everyone in Clonilty, and especially the Quirk family. Conor McHugh comes storming out of defence. He's fouled. It's a free.
Yeah, good call by Chris there, I think, as well. Just up around the neck, and again, like I said earlier on, he'll talk to the players now. He'll let them know exactly why he's given frees. He'll allow the game to be physical and to move fast, and he doesn't. In fairness, like we're lucky, like I said earlier, to have the likes of himself and Tom and Sean in Dublin at the moment that are at inter-county level.
Donald Burke comes out to strike it. No real breeze to speak of. There was a little bit of a one for the first game, none for the second.
Look at the space in front of McMorrow as well. You can obviously see Timmy and Connell have been told to stay out. Timmy's walking back in towards him now, but that space in front of McMorrow, he will absolutely revel in that if he's anyway up to hurling standard. I know, like I said, he's only coming back from a serious injury, but Burkey will fancy this. No,
it's wide. Luke Mulligan-Lynch, Hugh O'Sullivan, decent footballer as well. Conall Keeney, well, you know all about him, taken away from him by McHugh, and it's a line ball to Ballyboden. Well, that's what Keeney thinks.
That's Hammersley, but I won't blame you for that one.
Hammersley got there, yep. Hammersley chasing after it. McHugh away into the path of Matthew Oliver. Escaping the defence was Liam Rush. He's so important. Got pinged for illegal hand passing a couple of times last week. He just needs to make sure that he has that kind of striking motion this week.
Yeah, and Chris will be used to that as well from dealing with games at inter-county level as well. I can see that. He's right. Good call by the umpire.
Stephen O'Connor calls a 65 for the Fianna.
I think they've Luke out marking Burkey, but he'll obviously let him hit the free here now, but he looks like he's been the man to go man to man with Burke, and you can see as well that the Fianna are smart too. They saw the impact that McDwyer had the last day as well. So Sean Baxter, who's somebody that's impressed both of us any games we've done in here, he seems to be the man that's going to be spending the next 60 minutes or so with McDwyer.
Burke.
No, he'll be disappointed with that now.
His lift was just a little bit off there.
Yeah, it's not like him, and I know he was carrying an injury there coming into the last game, maybe the game before that we were here, but that's two he's missed. But look, no better man to lift the mantle again now in the next couple of minutes when he gets the next one inside.
Stephen O'Connor popped off the pass. Durkin goes cross field, just came off the fingers of Dooley. Timmy Hammersley battling for it again, the Tipperary man. But Conor McHugh does well. Missed out on the pass, John Tierney. Stephen O'Connor. Paul Ryan. Ryan down towards McMorrow. We know he's got pace. It's a nice turn. McMorrow, will he get a shot away? The answer is yes. Will he get a point? The answer is also yes.
Yeah, I said it to you when he has that space inside. For me, like, he still has it, and I said it 2 years ago when I was there. You know, he should have been somebody that was involved in blue as well as with Bowden. I think his wrists and his athleticism and his strength. He's really built strength over the last kind of 2 or 3 years too. Now, again, I suppose the big question for the next couple of weeks is whether some of these lads are going to be interested in pushing on again and maybe down on a Dublin jersey. Great run
what a run by Luke Corcoran. One-handed shot saved by the goalkeeper. Jonathan Tracy had to get a stick on that and then is able to gather it. Just when you consider it was a one-handed shot at pace, it actually wasn't a bad effort. Wrapped up there is Peter Feeney. He's dispossessed. It's Dooley. There was a call to Dooley from Hammersley, but Dooley let the shot go and it's wide. Yeah,
great tackling by Connell. Again, just holding up the man and not giving away the free, and Chris allowed it to go on. Connell will be disappointed with that because, again, that distance there, like, he should be, and he'll know himself that that's something that should go over the bar.
2 points apiece between Lucan and Crooks. That's a bit of an aimless ball. Leaving it go was David O'Connor, and it will be a puck out.
Set up by Nafina inside us straight. There's no man in there now. Like, you've 3 defenders for Bowden, and they just seem to be retreating and allowing that short puck out and hoping then that they'll get men back in. But when you don't have Curry's inside, like, AJ will go back in now, and the chance of winning a ball against 3 is going to be tough for him.
It was knocked down to Keeney by McMorrow. He's got a runner out to the left. That's Niall Ryan.
This fellow won't miss.
Oh. He leaves it behind, but the free was coming anyway.
Yeah, great run by Niall, and Connell took a bang to the hand. He's had a problem with that hand at the start of this year, so hopefully it's not significant. But you can see, look, the setup that Bowden have there now, it's allowing that runner off the shoulder with Niall Ryan and McConnell again taking the man on, and obviously Paul Ryan, like we spoke about earlier on with David, he won't miss frees.
Well, they're set up to get goals, Ballyboden so far. 8 against Plunketts. 1 in the victory against St Jude's, but still not a bad record. Paul Ryan taps it over.
Nafeen doing that central thing for puckouts as well, John. Ooh, good hit. Dooley will go for this now.
Dooley takes it on. Missed one earlier. Doesn't miss there. First of the game for him.
Yeah, Nafina set up that kind of linear 1.5 forward line, but Jono went short. Which meant then they were just dragged back in, and good tackling again. Look, Dooley had space as well. That's a big ball to ask a forward to win as well.
They're not afraid of hard work. It almost bounced for Tom Gleeson. He hasn't given up on it. That's fantastic play to break out of defence like that and surging away is Milligan Lynch. It's a good turn. He's fouled. It's a free out. Fantastic play by the wing back. Referee having a chat with Diarmuid Clerkin.
Yeah, hit him head high, I think, and Chris is saying now as well, he'd be lucky if he gets away with a yellow card here.
Yellow card for Clerkin. And a free for Paul Ryan. Ryan launches it.
Some free.
Second of the game for him.
Yeah, and again, it's hard to see what the forward line here. You can see Doc O'Connor just sitting in behind Shane Durkin. It's just hard to see where Nafina are using their spare man, obviously in defence as well, to try and create that overlap. But they've 2 guys inside with 4 defenders, so AJ has a chance here now maybe to win this.
Rush went long into AJ Murphy. He was being minded by David O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor there as well. Stephen with a crossfielder looking for Niall Ryan. Ryan in there with Luke Corcoran. Nafina trying to steal away through Diarmuid Clerkin. Clerkin moves it backwards. Smart play. Oof, just letting it slip through there is Matthew Oliver, but he's got time and space to recover. Back it goes to Diarmuid Clerkin. Might have a go. Followed all the way by Corcoran.
Good ball. Good.
Wouldn't quite come to the hand of John Tierney. If it did, he was in on goal.
Yeah, Mellett did well there as well, and Connell shown well from 11 for ball 2, but great ball into the corner.
Looking for McMorrow, might fall to Hammersley. Hammersley does really well. Recycles. McDwyer. That's magic from McDwyer. His second of the game. They've both been fine points.
Yeah, it all came from the ball inside from Keeney as well. Like, you know, it's just no wasting ball. You compare that to just hitting ball on top of a forward line, expecting them to win it.
Oh, it's nice for Ballyboden. They have that ability to win the ball. They also have that ability to work it. Conor Kelly tries to spin away from Hammersley. Keeney now closes them down. Here's Liam Rush. McMorrow did really well. Scooped away. I'm not even sure whose Hurley got to that, but Clerkin comes in to try and hoover it up. And Clerkin escapes. He's responded well to getting that yellow card. He's had a couple of big plays. Here's Liam Rush. AJ Murphy runs down to it. Murphy takes it, turns, has a shot, which goes over. They needed that.
Good score from AJ, and again, ball from Rushy gave him a chance to win it, and that's what Na Fianna management will want now. Give the two boys inside that chance to win their own ball rather than hitting ball in high. And on top of Stephen O'Connor, Dean Curran, who'll win it all day long. That kind of aerial battle, but. Look, there's a bit more life about this than the first game, but look, Na Fianna need to kind of, they're 5 points down here now, after only 11, 12 minutes, so they need to kind of get a couple of scores on the board to give themselves a chance going forward in the game as well. AJ
Murphy, who won a Leinster title with Dublin at under 21 level, gets the first point for Na Fianna. McMorrow tries to respond. Conor Kelly absolutely stuck to him, and it's a free out. Well, Tracy has length and distance in his strikes.
He does, but he needs to make sure it doesn't go dead here now. He needs to make sure that it goes to a Berkey or to an AJ who can score.
Or a Quilty who can potentially set up one of those players. And that's what he's trying to do. AJ Murphy, he's being covered very well there. Racing back was Paul Ryan. Murphy turning and twisting, getting it away there. Couldn't get the shot away. Aaron Jessen comes off a Ballyboden body, goes out for a line ball.
It's interesting to see what Boden are doing with Reiner as well. They're keeping him out the field as as that proverbial shooter in around because he can score from 60, 70 yards easy, on both sides. So maybe that's something that Kurtz is looking at in going forward. At having him out rather than being stuck in the corner with an angry little dog roaring at him all the time. That it might be no harm giving him space to shoot.
Murphy doesn't catch it right. Fell off Jessen. Durkin takes it up, gets it back to Stephen O'Connor. Conal Keeney drops deep, takes it, trying to turn his man Martin Quilty. That's really good play, great ball. Hammersley came out to take it. Hammersley will go for it, even though Dwyer was inside and wanted the ball. Comes off the woodwork and goes wide.
Yeah, Timmy, good wrists there. Unfortunate with the strike, but won the ball well. His body shape and his wrists are very, very for again. He's added something to Boden this year, 100%, and they'll demand high work out of him as well. You can see him getting back out to the 10 position here now as well to make sure that he covers the puck out.
Tracy, that was a good take by Donald Burke. Burke trying to get away from David O'Connor. Great work from O'Connor. Corcoran will try and make it his and does. Corcoran leaves it behind and then gets it back. That's great work. Durkin. He thought about going for it there, Paul Ryan. Moved it back to Durkin. Durkin goes outside. That's from right out the country. If that goes over, it's a monster score. It doesn't.
Yeah, Durkin's done well there. He's kind of sitting in he likes that kind of role as well now, even though Doc's gone spare as the man now, but he's Durkin's had a good start, and he's again his chance and his opportunity to give ball to a shooter was good there, but just from that distance, it's probably a 1 in 3 chance really going over.
McHugh to Quilty. Quilty looking for AJ Murphy. Taps it down, but Dooley was waiting. Dooley into space. It's not a good ball. Conor Kelly clips it. Breaks kindly. John Tierney juggled it, then swept it forward. AJ Murphy. Tierney continued his run. AJ tries to pick out a pass. Jessen. It was difficult, and I was about to say he made it his, but then he left it behind. Aidan Mellick gets it up the park, where it's intercepted again by Peter Feeney.
Feeney's having a good game there, Oisin.
Liam Rush hits it wide.
Feeney's having. I've been impressed with him a couple of times last year as well, lead up to the county final too. I felt that he's energetic around the middle. He's strong. He's tough. He's not afraid of shirking the tackle. But again, gave the boys a chance to win the ball inside. This shot from 80, 90 yards. The levels or chances of that going over, like you heard the Bowden lads giving out to Dooley a few minutes ago. He won't do that now. He'll recycle it and he'll give the ball to the man in a better position.
Ballyboden looking for McMorrow. McMorrow allowed it to beat him, then runs onto it. Keeney's making a run. He's covered by Liam Rush, so it goes to Hammersley instead. Great risks, as you've already observed about him. Keeney fumbles it. If anything, he was too close to his teammate there.
He took the words out of him out. He was way too close to be even given the ball or want it, and that kind of just caused that traffic. Again, a chance here now.
Tom Gleeson, he's got AJ inside. AJ couldn't get the touch he was looking for, needed to get it into the hand and didn't. Stephen O'Connor steals away. Ronan Hayes has got a goal for Kilmacud Crooks. They lead Lucan 1-7 to 6 points in O'Toole Park. Niall Ryan. Keeney. Hugh O'Sullivan moved it outside. Dooley in over the top looking for Hammersley. He's so energetic and he's popping up everywhere. It's like there's 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, but if you're watching from home, like to try and describe where the shape of this, like there must be 20 people in the central areas, and there's one Ballyboden forward and there's 2 Nafina forwards against 4 backs, and it's all centralised in the middle. Here's Hammersley again.
McDwyer looking for his third. That's a great shot from McDwyer, a great score. He seems to be the only man out there able to find space at the moment. Conor Kelly is down for Nafina. He'll get some treatment.
Yeah, it gives the Nafina line a chance maybe to get a word in here now as well about trying to sort the setup out in regards to who's marking who, because it's so condensed in the middle. There's very little shape to it. A lot of shooting from big distances, and no real, apart from the ball that Connell gave into the corner, there's no real sense of what the forwards, where they're trying to get ball to or where they're trying to get ball from. So I suppose both managements will try. You can see Kurt's now trying to get messages in, and Bren is in as well, and Eamon as well. So the messages will try. We need to have a structure in that half forward line. You can see Connell and Timmy as well saying that there needs to be a half forward line there in order to try and give a chance to the boys inside to win ball.
Well, just in case you're only tuning in now, Nafina without many big players, Paul O'D, the 2 Currys, Shane Barrett, Burke, Ballyboden. We thought they would start without Niall McMorrow, but he was included from the start. He has had a lively start. Paddy Dunleavy is on the bench, as is James Madden, but they are without Lambert.
Yeah, and Simo's a huge loss, even from not from a playing point of view, as much as he is important from the playing capacity. It's just that vocalised kind of central area that, I suppose he was our captain, my captain in whatever 18, and he's such an integral part of that team in regards to how he vocalises stuff and what's good and what's not good, along with kind of leading from the line on the hurling side of things as well. Again, another man who I feel, even at an older perspective, would add something. Because again, you need these younger players, the likes of Liam Murphy, and even when you look from a Ballyboden with McDwyer point of view, you need these young players learning from the older guys as well. And I think going forward, Nafina missing so many players today, need to get an awful lot out of, get game time into younger players today as well as experience for the next game.
Intercepted by O'Connor, a zippy pass but handled well. Coming out of defence, David O'Connor. Mella tries to turn on it, can't.